Good morning. Due to the governor's order, all members of the Fair Planning Committee are participating virtually. For virtual meetings, committee members will be muted until asked to be heard. At that time, they will be recognized and will be unmuted. When there is a vote, it will be necessary to take a roll call vote. A committee member will be recognized and will raise their hand and state their vote. Today's meeting is a public meeting. Citizens can listen to the meeting if they contacted the city manager's office to make the necessary arrangements. The meeting also will be live streamed on the city's YouTube channel, and a recording of today's meeting will be available by Friday, August 13th on the city's website.
I'll go ahead and do a roll call.
Okay.
Rachel Barron?
Yes, here.
Odell Cheek? Here. Carrie Collins?
Here.
Willie Cumbo? Not here. Sophia Griggs? Not here. Kathleen Garber?
Here.
Kim Gressley? Joseph Hamby? Karen McHugh? And Anthony Tang. He is here and typed in the chat box that he's in another meeting.
It's multitasking.
Yep.
So it looks like the first two items on the agenda, we don't have enough folks for. So if we can go ahead and we will start with the beer sales update.
Hey guys, DJ with the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds here. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys right quick. If I can find out how. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm used to using Teams. All right. So Appalachian Mountain Brewery will kind of be the presenting sponsor for the Fair Beer Garden this year. And I'm kind of stepping in for Robert and speaking on his behalf in regards to the beer garden. So A&B out of Boone, North Carolina, they'll be kind of the presenting sponsor for the beer garden. You will also have local breweries in the grandstand. The two breweries that are confirmed so far are Fiddle and Fish and Foothills. So that'll be located in the grandstand. And then the A&B beer garden will be over by the sports zone, which I'll talk about later in the marketing update, the chicken coop and all that good stuff. So I know one of the important pieces with them is the education and how it's tied in with North Carolina agriculture. I just included some notes from our conversation with them via email about how they plan to tie in their education pieces with the fair. So they'll have signage focused on how A&B uses North Carolina agriculture for their beer and also give back to the community, sign about North Carolina malts and how they're used in their beer grown here in North Carolina. They'll talk about Pints for Pines and how they give back and plant trees, which is a nonprofit cause that they're involved with, giving back to the community. Sign about Be Downtown, and basically that's where they get their honey that they'll include in their beers that have honey in them, and kind of the agricultural piece behind that. And then lastly, a full story of mountain farms and how they donate spent grain, etc., and work with them on a farm to flame food truck, which is a food truck out of Boone. And I did some research on farm to flame, and basically it's a casual dining food truck. I think I'm frozen on my screen, but I'm still talking. Farm to Flame food truck is kind of focused on sustainability and helping the environment with everything they do by their food truck. So another agricultural piece tied in there. And that is the update on beer sales at the fair.
Awesome. Thank you. That looks, yeah, I'm excited to see that. And I think it ties in really well to the educational goal of the fair, of just talking about how we're working with different vendors and different farms and all of that, and working with the community as well. So thanks y'all for putting that together. I'm excited to see kind of the final details and how that pieces together.
And can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Robert Mulhern here. Just wanted to jump in real quick. Just to further elaborate what DJ said. So Appalachian Mountain Brewery has come on. It's kind of the premier sponsor of the main beer garden. And ultimately what they'll have here in a couple weeks is kind of a mock-up of what the space will look like and how they'll design it. But they are gonna, we're giving them the grass and they are building it from the ground up. It should include picnic benches, tables, umbrellas. They're designing some kind of fence made out of pallets. So it should be a really neat look. And as soon as we get that, we'll make sure you all see it. But we're excited to have them on board, and I think vice versa for them.
Awesome. Yeah, that should be great. We'll go ahead and move on to the vendor update.
Hey guys. All right, this is an exciting kind of year. We've got lots of changes happening with vendors. We've had some not be able to return for multiple reasons, but it's been very few as far as our food vendors. We have had a new lady apply for a position inside space, and I'm very excited about her product. It's augmented reality children's books, and let me share the picture with you guys real quick. It's life size, and so how the booth will be set up is kind of like, you guys see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's like set up like this is you're walking into the story. And so I've recently just sent her lease agreement, and very excited about her being part of our annex and having the kids be able to be involved in something like that. So very excited about that. Still working on filling spots. So it's somewhat of a tedious process, but we will, I will get there and hopefully get everything moving forward in the next few weeks, because we're almost there, guys.
It's getting here quick. Any new and exciting food we need to know about?
Not just yet.
Okay.
I am still speaking with some people and seeing if they're available and making sure their product's going to fit in the spaces that I have available. But hopefully we will hear some new things. And as we do, we will be announcing it.
Awesome. Looks like Kim jumped on. So do we have quorum now, Rachel?
We don't need 6 to make quorum.
Okay.
So close. Karen said she'd be joining, so hopefully.
Okay. Thanks for being here, Kim. Got us one person closer. We'll go on down to the marketing update then.
All right, DJ back again with the marketing update. Let me share my screen with you guys right quick. All right. So before I get into this, I'll let you guys know we're finalizing our schedules for all of our ad buys, TV, radio. We have a billboard campaign starting here in a few weeks that you'll see the artwork for, and digital campaigns as well. So hopefully next time we meet, I'll have full schedules laid out for everything on that end. So today we'll just talk about artwork primarily. This is all the artwork, or a few of the artwork pieces for our digital ads. There are more in different sizes outside of this, but this is like the meat and potatoes, kind of like the general branding that you'll see for the most part. Save on tickets now through September 30th, October 1st through the 10th. And then of course, after September 30th, we'll take out this piece. And then these are 3 renditions of digital billboards that we'll have going. There's still one more in the works outside of this that we haven't received yet. But these are just our 3 renditions we have so far. Buckle in, save on tickets now through September 30th, with rides being the general theme. Again, what you saw before, save on tickets. And then the third and final one is second to none in 2021, our theme for this year. Just kind of mixing things up. So as you drive throughout town and throughout, Guilford County and some of the other areas where we have billboards, you'll see kind of new, fresh looks instead of just seeing the same billboard over and over.
Hey, DJ, you want to talk about that billboard we're waiting on and kind of the idea behind it and where it's going to be?
Yeah, so we have one billboard that'll be next to, what's that fair called? The one in Greensboro?
Central
Carolina.
Yeah, so where Central Carolina has their fair, I think in that parking lot. There's a billboard that we have right where that happens, basically, and it'll be kind of like a fun kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of billboard that kind of says better, faster, foodier, telling people about the fair that's in the other direction, but not making it, very aggressive, of course. Just kind of like a fun, lighthearted, hey, there's another fair in Winston, go the other way. And yeah, so that's the one that we're still working on and that we're waiting on a final artwork for. And then last but not least is the Carolina Classic Fair Sports Zone. New piece at the fair that I mentioned earlier will be over by the A&B Beer Garden. So far confirmed, we have Wake Forest Athletics, Winston-Salem State Athletics, the Winston-Salem Dash, and of course the Carolina Thunderbirds. We're working with each organization on fun, engaging activities, for people to like pitch stuff, and I'm not sure the exact verbiage. That's kind of slipping my mind right now. But basically, fun, engaging activities for people, not just something to where they walk up to a booth and there's a schedule there and they just kind of pick it up and leave. We really want people to be engaged and have fun, especially the kids. So this is our logo for the sports zone this year. And then speaking of sports and the Winston-Salem Dash, starting, I believe, at tomorrow's game, we'll start selling fair tickets at the Winston-Salem Dash baseball games. We'll also have fair merchandise for sale there, Fairgrounds and Carolina Classic Fair merchandise there, hoping that we can have a successful year with a new off-site ticket sale location, kind of like what we had last year with Haynes Mall. Robert, did I miss anything? Oh, he walked away. Never mind. I think that's pretty much everything with the sports zone and kind of like our marketing update for now, if anyone has any questions.
With the sports zone, I know we'd mentioned kind of the beer garden and having some TVs and being able to watch live sports, Sunday afternoon football and all that. Is that tied into the sports zone, or are those two kind of separate areas?
I would like to see that happen at the sports zone. I think it's still a little up in the air as far as how we would get that set up and who would provide it. But that is still on our, I guess you could say, goal list for the beer garden.
Awesome. Guess we'll move to the competitive entries update.
Quick question. Quick question, Kathleen, before, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So DJ, or remind me, are there any conflicts with fair weekends with Wake and Winston-Salem State's activities?
So there is a game on the first Saturday of the fair, Saturday, October 2nd. I think they play, is it Louisville? Wake Forest Athletics plays Louisville. But we are trying to capitalize on that. I think this will be one of the first times that we have kind of in-game presence. We're talking about doing like a cotton candy eating contest at the Wake football game that Saturday, just to kind of draw engagement from that crowd that's at the Wake football game, bring them over to the fair before or after the game. So, but yes, that's the only thing going on really.
And to piggyback, we also have a joint ticket offer for that weekend that both Wake and we will be promoting. You can buy a ticket to the Louisville game and a ticket to the fair. I think it's
$28.
Yeah, $28. And it's a kind of a package deal.
That's awesome. Any other questions? That was a great question, Carrie. All right, competitive entries update.
All right, so our entries did open July 1. Right now we're at about 4,000 entries in so far, which is it's about on par with what our normal year would be for the fair. So with that, it's been all online. We've had pretty good feedback from people with it being online. They said entering online was a lot easier than they thought it would be. So we've kind of forced people by doing the catalog online to then do their entries online, even though we do still have the option that you could mail it in, but most people are opting to do the online, which saves us a lot of time of having to input all of it. But it seems to be going well. Wine competition is this weekend. There are over 300 bottles of wine entered this weekend. I know I'd emailed y'all about if you wanted to volunteer for wine competition. That's still open. If anyone wants to come, even for a couple hours either day, we'd love to have you. Get ready to serve some wine. But other than that, it's going pretty well. And then September 27th is our judging day for all of our other items. I know in the past, like Kat and Karen have asked about judging competition. So if you're interested in judging at all, let me know and we'll help find a time for you to come help judge some of the exhibits.
Great.
So
Yeah.
I have a quick question. Rachel, what is the percentage of dropout or no shows that you have out of that 4,000? What do you really expect to come in?
It's generally a really low percentage. So in 2019, we had 28,000 enter, and we had, I want to say after check-in, it was like 24,000 is what came in. So it's a pretty high rate of who brings stuff in. A lot of them is our flower show, because you can enter 100 roses, but then they'll only show up with 30 roses. So that takes a huge hit there, but we normally have a pretty high rate of people actually turning them in.
Well, do they pay to enter or no?
No, only in our open livestock competitions do they pay to enter.
Okay. You could call me if you need a judge. We'll see if that works.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm happy to help judge whatever as well. So don't think we're still short of quorum. So I guess, is there any other business? And we will just, can we push the voting things until the next meeting, or can those just roll to the commission?
We'll probably have to roll them to commission, but I'll go ahead and go over the action items since Cheryl's not here, just so y'all are aware if commission does approve it for y'all. The action item has 3 entertainers for the clock tower stage: Randy Johnson, James Terry, and Ernest Johnson. They're all clock tower entertainment. The first 2 would be the first Sunday of the fair, and the last one is the second Sunday of the fair. Randy Johnson is with Higher Ground, and that is a gospel concert. James Terry's with JOT, and that would be a Christian rapper. And then Ernest Johnson with the Phase Band is going to be jazz for that Jazz Fest on that Sunday. And then Anthony just wrote in the chat, are we able to vote via email? We are not able to vote that way.
So Zoom or nothing.
Yeah. So, but we'll go ahead and give this to commission next week for them to vote on. But I just want to make sure y'all are all aware of it since you didn't have a quorum to vote on it today.
Gotcha. Yeah. Thank you for that. That sounds like some good variety of acts and genres of music. So should be a good option there. Thanks y'all for putting that together.
I have one other question. I haven't figured out where to put it in here yet. So is that okay to ask now?
That feels like other business.
Thank you, Kathleen. My office, when I first came here as director, they were pretty excited about always doing the school days at the fair, and they get dressed up. We do popcorn. I had one of my staff clicker how many adults and youth came through a couple of years ago, the last time we did this, in 2019, and there were about 1,000 people that came through, and children. So then comes COVID, and I follow restrictions for my staff, and I'm very serious about the protection of my staff with COVID and now the Delta variant. I'm curious, my staff is very concerned about doing this event this year because children have not been vaccinated to the level that my staff are comfortable. Well, we're still committed, and I guess my question to you is, how many school groups are you anticipating, or do you have confirmed, not guessing? I really need to know more of a number as I think through this process. Also with, I'll be talking with Joshua Swift, who's our Forsyth County, he's my co-partner. He's the, Director of Public Health. So how many do you have confirmed? What are you thinking about that?
For our school days, they don't sign up. We just open the gate early for school groups. So we don't have, it's just who shows up for school day. We have no way of knowing who it is because some homeschool groups just show up. So we don't have a way to guesstimate how many people are going to come for the school day.
And I mean, I'm not speaking for the school system, but I don't know that they will even do field trips this first 9 weeks. So we have no real way of, until we get further information from the school system and what they're going to do we really have an idea as far as with the public schools. So, it of course is open to our private schools and homeschoolers like Rachel mentioned, but we don't have a count on how many that will be. So I hate to say that, but there's no fixed number for it, Kim.
Yeah, and of course we all understand this, and it's a weird situation, but
Absolutely.
I wanted you to know, one, that my staff really likes doing this thing. And number two is that I just have to be really cautious with my team. And I've been super aggressively overprotective of them now for 18 months. And I do have a few of them who have shown some concern.
Sure.
And so I think, if you can kind of get a little more information, I threw it past Chantel Robinson, who took it to Dr. Ohl, and he said, that's a scary thing for you to be in with that many people. And I know that the county this week is going to reduce bigger gatherings of people in one spot. So it may take us out because we're part of the county as well. But I will continue to talk with you guys about it. I'm not saying today that we won't do it. I'm just letting you know the conversations that have been happening between me and our county manager's office and my staff. So
we appreciate that and fully understand that situation. So
yeah,
thanks for letting us know.
It's a horrible situation that we're in, and I never want to say I won't do something for kids because I'm an old 4-H agent that just wants to do everything kid related, but we'll just be cautious. We'll just be careful. We're back in masks if we're up and down the hallway, and
Yes.
Reducing people in our building and all that kind of stuff is coming down the road again. So I just wanted to bring it up. So thank you for understanding.
Absolutely. And thank you for making us aware.
Yeah, I know. I'm certain this fair staff is monitoring all of the ongoing guidelines and recommendations. And is there still, I know last year before it became the drive-through, there were a number of additional kind of enhanced safety protocols that we're putting into place. Are those still going to be applied to this year's fair?
I would probably want to get Robert to speak to that. Did you hear the question, Robert? If there's
I did catch that. Yeah. So we would ultimately, we'll work with Forsyth County and the city of Winston-Salem to follow all protocols at the time of the fair. We want it to be safe for everyone. So, we're prepared. Worst case scenario, Cheryl and Carrie and the fair team last year, we had prepared a pretty extensive Excuse the kids in the background. Pretty extensive safety plan that included masks are required. There was sanitation stations. We limited entries. And I think we presented that to you all as well. So we would, worst case scenario, I think we could do that. Absolute worst case scenario, we don't have a fair again, but we're not talking about that quite yet. So, but I think like everyone else, we're just monitoring and we're prepared for whatever we're handed at this point.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Yeah, I remember seeing the plan last year and just additional sanitation stations and all that good stuff. So, is there anything else? Any other business? I've lost my tab where I had my agenda. There we go. Anything else? All right. Well, if not, we will push the approval of the minutes to the next meeting, and which will be Thursday, September 9th, potentially live and in person at the Home and Garden Building on the fairgrounds.
Yes, that is our fair rally. So that is
Okay.
our 4:00 meeting. If we have any business, which we'll email you closer. If we are, and then if we're still having fair rally, all of those are to be determined.
Okay.
But if we have items, our meeting will be at 4:00, and then dinner will be at 5:00 following.
Perfect. Well, I will look forward to hopefully seeing all of your lovely faces in person at 4:00 on Thursday, September 9th at the fairgrounds. So, yep, everybody stay healthy and hopefully see you soon.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. With that,
Thank y'all.
meeting adjourned.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks, guys.